Ivy Slater, and you're listening to Her Success Story podcast, a show where gutsy businesswomen share their success journey. Hi, it's Ivy Slater. Welcome to today's episode of Her Success Story. Today, we're going to talk about the value and the importance of retreats for an organization and a team. So whether you're a big business, a small business, there's value and importance in both. Small businesses, sometimes there's 3, 5, 20, up to 100 people. On big business, you're going to look from 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, and more. You know, what you're really looking at, though, is the leadership team here. So that identified big and small business. Now let's looking at your leadership team. Often your leadership team is under 20, under 15, under 10 people. And this is this team that leads the organization, the business forward. We actually just had our own team retreats. In our team retreat, it's important to look at things like, where are you going as a company? It gives you an opportunity to expand your creativity, expand your visions, making sure you're on track for accomplishing goals that you set for yourself. Today, I'm going to jump in with a few tips, strategies, and thoughts about creating a smart, productive, and effective team retreat. Leadership teams must get together. You must gather. And here's one thing I'm going to encourage hands down. Whoever the leaders are, make sure you bring in a facilitator, somebody else who is managing the meeting that is you, so you can actually be present in the meeting and not be running the meeting. It's really important because when you're running that meeting and checking your agenda and watching and, off that to-do list, making sure you're covering all the items, you're not actually present in the creative process, in the process where expansion actually manifests. Think about it this way. It is worth your time, it's worth your investment if you're going to invest, or ask a colleague, a friend, somebody who's a great facilitator to come in and run this meeting. I have facilitated numerous meetings over my years, and I know when I come in as an outside party, I see the spark and the energy. I see with my own teams when I bring in somebody outside that we did recently, that also there's a spark and energy that is all of a sudden created because nobody on the team is actually running the meeting or checking our to-do list, checking off that we're hitting all these items. What we're doing is we are jumping forward. We're seeing truly what we want to create. So I'll tell you a little bit how Slater Success, my company, and how we've done our retreats in the past. We start talking about it about a month or so before, 4 to 6 weeks before we start the planning of it. And we use Slack as our means of communications, and we have a Slack channel called Team Retreats. And every time somebody has an idea of something that comes up in a regular meeting that could be good to expand on, that is not the time to do it, we put it into our Team Retreat channel. Same way, as ideas come through, it might be me in the middle of the night, oh, what if we did this? That's actually how the LinkedIn Live show was birthed. That if you have not caught it yet, you probably want to check out Slater Success Live on LinkedIn Live that we do several times a month. With this concept, I put that thought, what would this look like? And I put it into our Slack channel under Team Retreats. Then the week or two before, we take time in our weekly meeting and we review what our intentions are to cover during our retreat. And then we start prioritizing it. Somebody takes the leads, puts it into a Google document with priorities, and then submits it to this entire team to review the week before the meeting or the week or two before the meeting, seeing if anybody has things they want to add. If I want to prioritize any things or anybody else feels something is more of a priority than others, it gives us a chance to be very prepared when we sit down to our meeting. So we do, for our company, we do a half-day retreat. Sometimes it's great to do all-day retreats, depending upon the size of your leadership team. Sometimes it's worthwhile doing 2-day retreats and actually getting your team off premise actually in an area that you have creativity and expansion. I'm actually doing this for another company in early June where I'm traveling and I'm spending 2 days with them and, looking at their strategy and their planning for this next 6 to 12 months. By them getting out of their offices, out of their day-to-day, they're looking at things freshly, newly, and in a new creative light, coming from a very fresh perspective. Always think about the importance of coming from a fresh perspective than being at your desk or your regular place all the time. In our team retreats, we have a clear agenda and we go through it. And every time new ideas come up, we take a moment and we stop and think, is this worthwhile now? Is it on today's agenda or should this be moved into a different agenda? That's where the facilitator really is an asset because it helps the team not detour and go down that, road of detours or, golden ring showing up in every whack-a-mole kind of expression. It's popping up here and here and here, but staying on focus towards the goal of the retreat. We had a very specific goal in our retreat to do the planning for the Slater Success marketing and sales for the next 6 months. So we were looking from now through October. And it was very significant because I was very clear. My daughter's getting married in October, and I know I'm going to be taking a few days off at that time. So we wanted to have a clear picture from the end of April to the end of October, giving us time to really plan and implement. It also gives us a chance to then regroup at the end of October and look forward again. We do this at least 2, if not 3 times a year. Give your bandwidth. If you're a larger company, you really want to take your teams off premise once a year. You want them to get them out of their environment. And then you want longer, not just team meetings, but once a quarter, a check-in on the agenda that you create. It's important. We do this at Slater Success. We check in on our agenda at least every other month from the team retreat, making sure we're actually taking action, we're staying focused, and we're not actually looking at that shiny golden ring that brings us down those detour roads. In wrapping this up, a few key points. Number 1, if you've never done a team retreat, listen to this podcast right now and actually schedule your first one. If you've done them, but you realized with the pandemic, you kind of fell off course, again, go to your calendar, go to your team and get something on the books. Be smart about it. Don't let just day-to-day business run your business. Run your business with a forward-thinking strategy. And that's what your retreats help you do. Create that forward-thinking strategy. Next action, once you set your date, get your team in action. Start doing some brainstorm sessions of things you want to cover. You might do mini 10, 15 minutes. You might do it through a document, a Microsoft Teams channel, a Slack channel, a meeting. Every team has their own groove. You can work in your groove, but no, you want to be brainstorming ideas. You want to be forward thinking. I know I've said that a few times, but I'm saying it with a purpose. Just staying in the day-to-day does not grow a business. It just keeps the business afloat. When you're looking to grow and strategize your business forward, you want to be that forward thinker. Lastly, take action. If you have not done this in a while and you have a team of more than 4 to 6 people, you want to bring in a facilitator so you actually stay focused on your agenda and stay focused on your end goal. If you're unsure about any of this, of course, please feel free to reach out to me at slatersuccess.com or Ivy at Slater Success Coaching. I will tell you, in running this company, Slater Success, for the last probably over 13 years now, team retreats have been vital. Taking that moment has really catapulted my business forward, and I look forward for it to catapulting your business forward. Please take a moment and let me know not just your takeaways from today's podcast, but what it is you're going to implement from there. Also, remember to subscribe. We come into your inbox every Monday morning with fresh new content. See you next time with more great interviews, insights, and content at Her Success Story.
Don't need your approval anymore, 'cause I've got mine.